Hello, we have a great episode today, and I'm so excited. I'm gonna have Shay introduce our guests, or they can introduce themselves, but Shay is gonna bring it on in.
Yes, I love this episode. It is all about style basics. We are stylists, so of course we want to show y'all what do we do when we are styling. And we could not do this episode without bringing one of our favorite guests. Come on.
That's returning.
Come on, returning guest. And who might that be?
What's up, y'all? This is Najee Strickland, a multidisciplinary artist, and we in this joint.
Yes.
Excited. So we're gonna get right into it. Okay. Hey Shay. How has the concept of body analysis in fashion changed over time?
So originally, it was really rooted in rigid body types. So it was like this standardized measurement. And then it really focused on fitting the bodies to the garment and not the garment to the bodies. But now it has evolved with better tailoring techniques and fabric innovation. And it's also have shifted to be more inclusive with different body types. So now the focus is fitting the garment to the body and not the body to the garment. And so today, body analysis is more about understanding proportions and comfort and personal expression.
I love that.
Mo, how can body analysis help us find the right clothes that fit well?
Okay. So identifying body shape, so like hourglass pair, measurement, so like the bust, waist, hips, proportion. So this will be like the balance of the silhouette, and then comfort level. So what you're comfortable with to kind of step into for your body. And that's it.
Hey. Now, I have two back-to-back questions for you.
All right.
The first one, how has the approach to body analysis and fashion design evolved during your career?
I would say that it has evolved by not having everyone go by like a certain standard anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think about it, like back in like Harlem 1940s, you know, if you look at like the imagery, you'll see like men and boys, they always like dress up or have some type of suit on or a dress shirt, dress shoes. Same thing with the women and the girls. They had like a dress or a coat. So like, you know, everyone don't dress the same nowadays. So like that's what we getting out of. So that's what I've been noticing and what I've been seeing. And even in measuring, you know, measuring has changed because, you know, now you got like 3D measuring, you know, instead of using a tape measuring, 3D scanning. Same thing with like cutting out like patterns. Like they got a pattern projector now. Like you don't even have to use the paper anymore. So, you know, it evolved like in positive ways and kind of like in negative ways too. So, yeah.
I love it.
So before I ask you another question, I do want to have I have a follow-up on what is your thought with like the advancement of technology with that? Do you think that stylists still should know how to do the basics of like using a measuring tape? And do you, or like you personally, do you have a preference on like, I would definitely use this technology, or it's like, no, I'm gonna stick to the basics?
Man, that's a great question. I would say that people should know the basics because, you know, just like with history, you got to know where you came from or where everything has came from in order to know where you're going. So, you know, like you got to learn how to use that measuring tape. But me, you know, I love using measuring tape. I don't use any 3D scanning or anything like that. But I would say I would try to use the pattern projector because like, man, making patterns and like laying a pattern down to make sure like, cause if one guff of wind blow, then that pattern is gone. Like, because the paper is so lightweight. That's the crazy part about patterns. But nowadays with the pattern projector, you just like press the button and then it projects on the fabric and then you just cut it out. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Now that right there is innovation, like for real. Yeah, I like that. So yeah.
I would say yes, you should know the basics.
Yeah.
I did when I got into fashion and all that. I did do mine kind of backwards. So I did, well, it wouldn't be backwards, but I did fashion design first and not styling. I learned styling as I went when I got into theater and got into that part, production, all that stuff. But I feel like it helps if you got to do or fix something on set or for your client, because sometimes you got to fix stuff and you might need to measure it just so you can have it precise and you need to know. I also will give a tip as go on YouTube and just watch people measure. They have like this is why we're doing stuff like this, so
Yes.
you can like learn how to measure and you can sit there and just practice. You know, be like, hey mom, hey dad, can I measure you? And just measure yourself, measure other people, measure your sister, your brother, and it'll help you get to understand that. Even sometimes I have to start measuring stuff so I can remember the measurements and the half and all this other stuff. So that's a good tip, but I do believe that you should know it.
Yeah.
And it also will bring you further in your career when you know little things like that. So they don't have to go to a seamstress or certain things, or you can tell a seamstress what need to be done. Oh, you just need a quarter of an inch here. You know, instead of them doing all that, you'll let them know, like, look, this is what needs to be done. You know, so yeah, I just wanted to add that.
That's a good point.
And even if you're not a stylist, I think it's great for you just to know how to at least do your simple measurements. I always teach my clients, because the first thing I ask them as like a test question is like, what's your measurements? And they go, I don't know. And I said, do you know how to measure yourself? No, I said, I'm going to teach you, because our body's always changing. And when you're going to look for things, it's great to just say, oh yeah, my body kind of changed. So let me take my measurements again. You have that top to mind. So it's important, just not for stylists, just for yourself.
Yeah,
Exactly.
especially women. We change, we bloat,
Yeah.
you know, and you don't know, like if you're in the entertainment like business, you could be going on a red carpet and you could bloat, or you should know just all like everything when your body changes, so you will know your measurements and you can measure yourself at those times. So you have them. This is when I'm on my period. Let me blow let me blow myself. Let me measure myself.
Exactly.
So you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey Shay, what's the traditional methods were used for taking clothing measurements before modern techniques?
So hand measuring with cloth or tape based on the tailor's experience, draping fabric directly on the body to assess fit and proportion. So using standard size charts tied to specific areas or regions, really relying heavily on the visual assessment and craftsmanship. So measurements were often adjusted through fittings rather than the precision tools. And I actually when I took a fashion history class, draping was one of the things we learned, and I thought that was great. It's like, yeah, you really just have to take that look and have that eye. And I think, man, if you have that skill set, that's a
skill.
That's
for
a
real.
skill.
I agree.
So, Mo, what key measurements should everyone take to ensure their clothes fit perfectly?
Okay, I want to say this. Everybody is different, and I'm going to say why at the end of what I say. But everybody is different. Every designer is different. Every stylist is different. And sometimes designers want different measurements because how they create. So I want to say that before I start. So it will be bust. And so bust is this area, your waist area, hips, inseam, which is inside your leg, right?
Yes.
Inside your leg. So make sure.
Yes.
You know, I'm a little rusty. Okay, shoulder. So that's here, and then the back. So when you measure, I would say this: when you measure in the front, measure in the back. Measure in the back.
Two
'cause
different
you need
measurements.
It's
Yes.
two different
Yeah.
measurements because you're flatter here, you're wider. You know, so you need to measure both. We also round, and I think sometimes people, a lot of people don't really trip off of that, but measure both. And then in arm length, and that's what I got. I feel like it's more detailed, but from this part, we're going to go into a short intro so you can see exactly what we're talking about.
Hey guys, so now we're here with our interactive part. We're gonna have Mo, the model, and then we're gonna have Najee come and show us some styling basics on our model, Mo. So come on, Najee. Show
We're
us
going to
what
talk
you got.
about this in a little bit.
Yes.
I'm going to give it to Shay. Y'all can look at it, you know. All right, we're going to put it on blur. I don't know. Okay.
All right. What I normally like to do is I guess it just depends on what I'm making, but like the main measurements that everyone always get is always, it's always bust, waist, and then hips. But, I'm not gonna do that today, but I'll do like the measurements that are like super important to me when it comes to like having that right fit for the garment that I'm making for that individual. So, all right. So the first ones I normally do, like I said, is gonna be bust, waist, and hips. But today I'm gonna do shoulders, and that's like from your right shoulder to your left shoulder, and it's gonna be front and back. So it'll be like this, from here to here, and then whatever that number is on the shoulder, like I add a seam allowance to it, depending on if I'm making like a pattern from scratch or whatever. But if I'm just getting measurements, I'll just go ahead and mark down what I see. So right here is 17 and a half front shoulder to shoulder. And then on the back gonna be a little bit more wider because it's spread it out compared to your front shoulder to shoulder. So the back, we're gonna have 18. And the other things I like to do, because a lot of times, like when it comes to like a garment, a lot of people have trouble in this area, and that's the armhole. So arm up. And then the proper way to do the armhole is to not let the model keep their arm up. So place your arm down, because when you place it down, that's when the measuring tape kind of stretches out just slightly, maybe like 1/8 of an inch. All right, so we got your armhole is, I want to say 25 3/4. And the next one I want to get is, I like to do torso measurements. So of course you're gonna do, like I said before, the bust, the waist, and the hips. But when it comes to like figuring out how long that person's torso is, I like to do the measurements from the bust to the waist, and then the waist to the hip. So arm up. So if I'm doing like a measurement from the bust, it'll be at the center of the chest. So it'll be here. I'll make sure that's aligned, and then I'm gonna go and measure all the way to the waist. So wherever her belly button is, I'm gonna bring this over. Yeah, point at your belly button, cool. Then I'm gonna point here, then I'm gonna drag my hand across, and then stop it whatever that measurement is. So we have, the first one is the bust to the waist. So we're going to say about 11 and a half. Then I do waist to hip, and that's 7. All right, and then one more important measurement I like to get is it's like the girth measurement, and that's basically, because like a lot of times when it comes to standardized clothing, a lot of your pants or jeans, when it comes to like black and brown people, you have like that little gap back here.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So if you have that little gap back here, the best way to get rid of that, or to get the proper measurement, is to have the person, and I'm gonna have you do this, but from your belly button, take it underneath in the groin area, all the way to your lower back. So wherever like that dip in your lower back stops, that's what the measurement would be. Okay?
Okay.
So I'll let you take this wherever that. All right, so let's do that side. Take it underneath. It's going to be, your lower back is about right here. Or wherever that person like placed their pants, that's where you want to stop as far as like your measurement. So 32. And the last one, I like to do like the circumference of a person's legs and arms, because, you know, depending on the garment that you're making, you want that person to be able to, like, you know, get their legs and their arms in that piece. But if it's like, you know, if it's like oversized stuff, 9 times out of 10 you might not need to do that. But like I said, you know, depending on the piece that you're making. So like I'll do like the circumference around the upper arm. Oops. All right, arm down, because it always changes. All right, that's 16. And then I'll do the forearm. Forearm is 12 and a half. Then I do thigh. That is 28 and a half. And those are all the pretty much important measurements that I need when it comes to making a garment. Thank you.
Thank you, Najee.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all.
Model, yeah.
Yes.
So we're gonna do real quick, just kind of look at a kit. It's different type of kits.
Yes.
This one is a little bit of mixture of everything, like if you're on set, movie, stylist, that type of stuff. Ours, just styling period. I put a little bit of everything in here. Shay has one as well. But I put everything in here. So makeup, covers for your makeup so you won't get it on your clothes, no transfer. Spot spray. So I got a little bit of everything when it comes to that. Let me just give it handed to them. Measuring tape, thread trimmers. We got some clips. We have, here, let me see. I'm going on the other side. We have hem tape. We have shout wipes. We have safety pins. We have, this is for the corns, and I was playing. But this is for, rubbing and stuff. Sometimes you wear certain shoes and it rubs. This is hem tape as well, but it's just a quick one. This is a little, and I think I gave Shay one of these too. But this is a tagging gun, so if you need to put something back. This is for the hem and tape, and I thought this was really, really cool. So if you need to do something real quick, a quick hem, you could just heat it up and then just go around the peg. So that's just real fast. This is, what is this, Najee?
This is a rivet puncher or some type of hole puncher.
So belts. So say you got a belt that you need to, because sometimes people, can't fix it or they lost a little bit of weight. This to help you out. We got the Lint Roller and a little bit of everything. So this is my trick. What's your trick for this? You got any tricks for this?
I don't know. Let me know.
Okay, so my trick for this is to put it in a shoe. A little bit. It's good for friction and it's good so the shoe won't stink. Just saying. Okay. So that's one of my tricks. And it's also good when the chiefing, your legs get the rubbing, put that there. And sweating when you are on theater, so it won't be all just gross. So that's what that's for. And that's it. That is it. And I'm gonna have them put it back in there. But I also put things listed at the bottom if you want to start your kit, if you're into fashion, theater, anything. It's always good to have a really, really detailed kit. So anything y'all need to add for y'all kids, what's something that you can add to your kit that I didn't mention?
So one thing is that I really, really love is they're the sweat pads that you can also use. And you just fold those in the armpit part, and it is great. So especially if you're wearing satin or silk and you sweat a lot, you can put those in there. When I tell you, those are A1.
I ran out, so that's why we
For me, I would say hand needles and some extra thread because it can. A small hole can develop anytime, when it comes to whether you're working on set or whether you're working in the runway, you just got to be real quick when it comes to the hands.
And then I also would add hole patches for jeans, blazers, all that stuff. It's some stuff missing out of here because I put it in my other kit. But that's a good one. I wanted to see if y'all could add something to it because I did forget some stuff out of here. But you know.
Yes, and don't feel like you have to perfect your kit. As you grow as a stylist, your kit is going to grow with you. And depending on your project, there's certain things that you're going to need that you didn't need for previous projects. So you'll start growing. But this one is a great starting point. So I can't wait for us to share what's all in this kit.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Now that Najee showed us all of the techniques of measuring and we had the lovely Mo as the model, we want to get back into some more questions. So Najee, I have two back-to-back questions for you. The first one we're going to start with is, what historical influences do you consider when designing clothes for various body types.
All right, I got a question for your question. So,
Okay.
so all right, do you mean like people or events when it comes to historical influences? Like what y'all?
It could be both.
It could be, yeah.
It could be both.
Whatever you feeling.
Okay,
Yes.
gotcha,
You know, because
gotcha.
we like how you educate us.
Exactly, right?
Najee gives us the facts and the fees.
Yes.
Both. You know, so we need
I
both.
do my best. I do my best. All right, so I got people and I got events. So
Okay.
all right,
cool.
so but I ain't make it like too long. So with people, y'all gotta realize that like we even had some great influences throughout history when it comes to people and you know body types and clothes. So the first person that I got on the list is Prince. Man, Prince, he showed a way for like, you know, like a way for you to like just not give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, can I say that on here? Okay, cool. But he, you know, he pretty much like, you know, he's that androgynous person, unisex clothes. He don't care what he wear. It's basically going off what he feel. Just super artistic person. The next person I got is Takara Jones, a America's Next Top Model who was what I guess like taken off of the show, you know, because of she was a plus size model.
And I met her, and she's amazing.
And after she left the show, like her career skyrocketed.
Yes, it is.
You know, because of all the backlash she was getting for being a plus size model. And then, you know, the doors just opened up for plus size models after that. And then I got, you know, I had to put my auntie on her, Angela Davis. You know, I mean, she even through the revolution, she still stayed, you know, fresh when it comes to her
Ain't
clothes.
her birthday today?
Is it her birthday?
I think she Aquarius. I think her birthday today or tomorrow.
If it is, happy birthday.
Right. Happy birthday.
I got Dapper Dan. You know, he was super innovative with the upcycling and revamping, you know, garments, especially when it came to like the high fashion brand garments and stuff like that. He repurposed them for celebrities. I got James Brown. James Brown always stayed fresh, always stayed fly, you know. Sly and the Family Stone. I just recently watched the biopic documentary. The documentary on I forgot what it was streaming on, but I finally watched it and I learned so much about Sly that I didn't know. I didn't even know he was from San Francisco.
Who?
Sly from Sly and the Family
I
Stone.
didn't know that.
I didn't either. But send me that. I ain't gonna lie.
He was raised in San Francisco, but his family moved to the you know, during the Great Migration.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So he, you know,
Oh,
they
that's so
ended up over here, but he
cool.
was born in the South.
Okay.
So yeah. Then I got Wu-Tang. You know, you gotta have Wu-Tang. You know, they represent that 90s streetwear,
Yeah.
you know, camo, man.
Puff coats.
Come on,
Them puff
because it
coats.
was New York. So,
Right.
you know,
Puff
everybody stay
coats.
fly in New York.
We used to be in them puff coats with them Timbs on.
And Timberlands, come on. The worker boot turned to a fashion. Come on.
Man.
Turned
They're
to a
little
fashion
heavy,
piece.
though. Y'all need to make them a little light.
And then I got Erykah Badu. Come on, like she's like the mother of everything. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And then I got two honorable mentions: Andre 3000 and Jill Scott.
We love Andre.
Come on.
Like Andre
Jill
was
from Philly.
super innovative, and then Jilly from Philly. She just, of course, plus size woman, representing always when it comes to her style and just like her whole persona.
I love it.
Events, far as events, I got the 1970s era because, you know, you had a lot of flare pants, a lot of sequins, just a lot of style that, you know, came about during those times because style and music was like intertwining together. And then, of course, the 80s, the 90s, those were hand to hand. You know, you had a lot of bright colors coming out during those times. A lot of baggy, oversized clothes in the 90s. And like, if you think about it, these times, like they weren't so focused on class and gender like all the other, you know, historical events were, you know, like, because the Victorian era and the, you know, in like the era like during like the 1940s and stuff like that, where people was always wearing suits. You know, it wasn't focused on class and gender, like you know, like how it is, you know, for the most part. But yeah, that's what I got.
Love it.
That.
Okay, Shay, back to you. How has the rise of body positivity influenced fashion design and styling?
It changed the beauty standards, which was very narrow, and it idealized body norms. And so it really pushed designers to expand their sizing and rethink fit. And it shifted away from hiding bodies towards celebrating them. And it encouraged more diverse representation in campaigns and runways, reframing fashion as a tool for confidence and not correction. And I just want to say, like, unfortunately, I feel like we are kind of going a little bit backwards in fashion, where they're starting to go back to that, like, you know, ideal model size. And now we're having to fight more again for body inclusivity.
Yeah.
And I just think, like, that should have never been treated as like a trend or a fad. I think that needed to be like, no, this is what it is. And so it's kind of sad to see that the fashion industry is kind of going back to that.
Yeah.
You know, so.
I want to say this, like, because this is like side note and it's on what we talking about. You know, you have people that say stuff about your body and all that type of stuff. And I had to really get into a place with myself to be like, okay, this is the body that I was born with, and be okay with that. And also appreciate other people's body. And, you know, that's who they are. But it's a trip how people really comment on your body. And I really feel like that's why that started with people getting BBLs and doing all this stuff. Because people comment so frequently on people's bodies. I have to tell somebody that this is the body you're getting. You know, small booty, little booty, whatever you want to call it. This is the body you're getting.
Exactly.
Because I appreciate my body, and you know, and you can appreciate other people's bodies, but you don't have to change who you are or what's on you for somebody, you know, for the likes of other people. Just appreciate what it is, you know. And if you're dressed right, you know, you might get it popping. It might look cute in some jeans, you know. So just appreciate your shape is my side note. I had to say that.
And honestly, to piggyback off of that, like what I've noticed is that that the women's body autonomy has been controlled by men.
Yeah.
Fashion.
Yes.
Everyday life. All of it. It's just been controlled by men. Like they always just got something to say about like what a woman should put on her body and how she should operate throughout society within her body. Like,
I agree.
like that's the crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what I noticed. I'm just like, bro, this is that's wild. But
the booty I got, because I don't care. And I'm happy that, you know, I had to really come into, especially after my car accident with all my scars and all that stuff. Like it definitely brought on insecurities, and I think we all have them some way, shape, or form. But you have to really not listen to the noise when it comes to your body.
Yes.
Exactly.
Knowing what you can wear, what looks good on you is also a thing that helps you boost your confidence. You know, it definitely helped me, like with certain clothes when I was able to get really back into fashion. So I just wanted to say that because I feel like it's such a why people got into the, you know, changing their body so much is because people comment and make you feel bad. And I'm happy you added that on because I really believe that that's where, like, one of the main reasons where it come from.
Yeah.
We got to change that.
Definitely
We got
do.
to change that.
Yes.
So, yeah, just wanted to say that.
So, Mo, how can stylists use the body shape to create flattering outfits for different occasions?
Okay, so I'm gonna list a couple and then I'm gonna add to it. So highlighting curves. So like if you have an hourglass, you can put a fitted dress on with a belt. You know, belt it up, belt your tops. That helps balancing proportions. So if you have like a pear shape, A-line dress, skirt, it'll balance the hip area. And I know like a couple of people when they have curves and like a pear curve, they do feel like kind of like they don't want to overshow it. So that'll be a way to, you know, minimize it if you feel insecure about that or don't want to show it or feel too sexual. So I wanted to say that. Creating shape. So for me, I'm kind of straight. So the pants that I put on today, they're kind of like come out a little bit. So that helps me have like, it look like I have a little hip area, but I'm more like straight up and down because I do have weight on me. So for that, doing you could do a tailored jacket. So that's why I always wear blazers. I always wear like tailored blazers, lapel shirts or peplum shirts creates curves, and they do. And then adding volume. So like if you have an apple shape, will be flowy fabrics, V shape line with sort of help the torso, and then focusing on features. So maybe drawing attention to your face, your different parts of your body. Like if you like your arms, you got nice arms, stuff like that. So I just wanted to say that. Yeah, put that in there. Yeah, so that's it.
I love that, and I always tell my clients use your body type as like your body shape as like the foundation piece. It's not one size fit all. Like two apple shapes could be in the same room and they look different.
Yeah,
the proportions that they need.
That's a great point.
You know?
That's a great point.
Like just use it as a foundation because at the end of the day, it's your style. It's what you want to look like.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, that's a great point.
Just be okay with it and learn stuff. That's what this is for, like to learn about your body, learn about styling, learning about fashion. And it helps when you keep studying, you will have your style like no other. You will know exactly what to go to. So, you know.
So, Najee, what styling advice do you give for someone preparing for a public appearance?
I would say the most important thing is to learn your silhouette. Learn your silhouette.
Yeah.
Learn your silhouette. And the best thing to do is to take photos of yourself. And that's the best way to learn your silhouette. So you can just figure out like what works best on you, or like how just all your proportions on your body are. Because, you know, some people might have broad shoulders,
Right.
a small waist, and you need to figure out like what to put on yourself with it. So just like everything that you said about like the different body just sizes, so like rectangle, apple, oval, and hourglass, like all of those different silhouettes, you know, like you said, you know, they structure different, so you got to add to it the way that it's structured, so you won't bring attention or like lose attention in a certain area, you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
you insinuate.
There you go. Yep.
You, what you have, and that's what makes us all beautiful, and we different. Like you know, and it's okay if you don't have hips or you have hip dips or you know you busty and stuff like that. Like it's okay. Just know what to do and how to insinuate it. So that's you know.
Yep.
So, Najee, what historical fashion icons inspire your designs and why?
All right, let's see. So we got Alexander McQueen for his avant-garde looks and theatrical runway shows. Then you got Dapper Dan for his like repurposing luxury brand clothing. I got Diana Ross because Diana Ross put that shit on.
Right?
Come on, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
I love Diana Ross fashion.
Come on.
Point.
Like, I'm talking about anything she put on, like from the hair to the makeup to the garments, like, and then she could sing. So, you know.
You know how I got it put on when we was in the School of Style?
Oh, yeah, School of Style.
Oh, my God. I got, like, obsessed. Like, I was like, oh, my God. Just look after fit after look after fit. After,
she don't miss. Like
even
man.
that picture, that's like one of my favorite pictures. But I just be like,
she don't miss. I'm just like, what?
And she put a fire on.
Y'all gonna like this. Y'all gonna like this next one. Grace Jones.
Oh yes.
Grace Jones.
Yeah.
Because of her androgynous style. Now she can put on anything as far as like avant-garde or like she can be like a piece of artwork. You know what I'm saying? Like Keith Haring was painting her one time. And like even that, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, man, she don't miss, man.
Yeah, Grace Jones is
like, she don't miss.
Yeah.
She don't miss, man.
I mean, just I just think of fashion when I think of her.
Every time.
Fashion and art.
Come on. So yeah, those are my icons. Yeah.
Okay. Hey Shay, how has the innovative in fabric changes the way designers create clothes?
So it has expanded, like the innovation of fabrics have expanded what silhouettes and structures are possible. So it has improved comfort, movement, and wearability. It has allowed designers to experiment beyond that rigid tailoring. I don't know why I say rigid tailoring. And it has made garments more adaptable to different body types. So shifted design priorities towards function as well as aesthetics.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, that was nice. Okay.
And so, Najee, how have advancements in fabric technology changed your design process?
I would say that it changed by making it, what I make more healthier for people's skin. Because like I'm on this whole tip of like, wearing like high frequency clothing, what I'm saying, for your skin, because, these low frequency plastic filled fast fashion clothes, they just like making us sick, making us tired. They not good for us. I'm gonna just say it like that. So I would say that, and I would say it's easy, accessible, and it reduces waste too. When it comes to like the advancements, because like I don't know, I'm not sure what they was doing back in the day after they got done with like fabric scraps. Do y'all know? Like I'm not sure what they was doing.
Sometimes I used to put, this is what I read a long time ago. They put it in like couches and stuff. They used to use it, like they used to chop it up and put it in stuff like that. But back in the day, they used to use everything, and I don't know what happened.
But now they don't do it no more. They just
they used to use it in couches and stuff. Yeah.
And now you don't do that no more. They just like taking it and dumping it. They putting it in another country, and it's just piling up. So I appreciate. I guess we kind of like moving backwards, because like we're not using all of it anymore like how we used to. Now we just like, so maybe we need to like advance in that with the waste. High performance and high frequency fibers are also key to my design process. Now I already said that, but I just make sure that like I preach that like wholeheartedly, like to everyone, because that's what we need. Like we don't need these fast fashion brands anymore. We don't need to like, take the garments and turn it into plastic garment. Like we don't need to do that no more. Like we need to stick to these advancements and like doing what's best for like the human beings, like for real, because that's what's best.
I agree.
So Mo, how do different fabrics affect the way clothes fit and feel on various body types?
Okay. So I named fabrics, and then I put like the structure and how it, feel on the body. So I put all, it's a little bit of both, never mind. So cotton is breathable, and it holds a good structure. It holds shape well and suitable for casual wear across body types. And then I put stretch fabrics. So it's good, like spandex and stuff is good for like athletes wears, when you're working out, your fit clothes, it's good for that. Jeans, it has the stretching in jeans. It's good for curves. Silk is good for flowing, draping, flowing fabrics, ideal for highlighting features without adding bulk. And then linen is lightweight and breathable, loose fitting, making a great warm climates, and it's actually good because it's good for the environment. It's linen and like cotton and stuff like that is good. And then wool, it make me itch, but we're gonna talk about it makes me itch. I be on the floor itching, but it offers the warmth and the structure, perfect for tailored pieces that create clean lines. And that's it.
Nice.
Yeah. We love that. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, Mo?
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up. So this really puts the perspective how body analysis in fashion involves in rigid rules to make thoughtful, human-centered design.
For me, it's always been about honoring the body in front of me, using history, fabric, and fit to create clothes that feel intentional and empowering.
And that's the takeaway. Body analysis isn't about changing bodies to fit clothes. It's about using fashion as a tool to support confidence, comfort, and self-expression. Until next time.
Thank you.
Peace, peace, peace.